Kyle hit the record button. That means episode 24 is off and running.
Oh, I thought you were telling him louder to hit. Kyle, hit the record button.
Nah, dog.
Kyle, hit the record button.
I was giving him, the guest,
Yes,
the opportunity to hit the fucking record button.
Episode 24.
Episode 24. And before we even get into anything, let's talk about this. There's been 50 stories that I've told on this podcast, roughly, and 49 and a half of them involved this Kyle, the Kyle Hall, Keto Kyle.
That's me.
Keto Kyle.
That's me.
Yeah, Keto Kyle. And in lieu of
That would
Keto
be
Kyle,
that would be like your live journal page.
Keto Kyle. In lieu of Keto Kyle, we aren't drinking Monster.
In lieu of?
No, not in
That's
lieu
not
of.
what
You're
that
right.
means.
We're not drinking Kyle's on the regular, and this is in lieu of. You're right.
Yeah, please don't drink me.
In lieu of beer.
In lieu
tonight.
of beer, yeah, and in lieu of Monster, we are having keto approved White Claw hard seltzer.
Black cherry.
100 calories, gluten-free, 2 grams of carbs, and
2 carbs.
natural flavors.
I have never had a White Claw.
Oh,
So-
you're about to have one.
This is can we turn this into a YouTube live react video? Like, here goes. So I can't even do the hey Colin, what'd you bring us to drink today? Because I didn't even ask you. I just I said it.
Just did it.
You text me and you're like, you trying to drink some White Claws tonight? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You
Why
know I
would
don't
we do
like
that?
these things.
Well, we got some of these over the weekend because we had my daughter's second birthday party. And I knew, I was like, all right, not everybody drinks beer. We're not fucking having liquor at a 2-year-old's birthday party. So we got some White Claws. And then Andrew and Lacey showed up and had a whole cooler full of White Claws. So it was a hit.
Here it goes.
All right, here we go. What am I supposed to think about this? What do people think about this?
People think, oh, this gets me drunk and it tastes like seltzer water.
Yep.
That's what they think.
Had that
Okay.
gurgle and whatever in the mic and everything.
There is zero alcohol taste to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is fucking
It
crazy.
does surprising work. Like the first time I had a lot of these, I was 5 in and I went, yeah, I have actually been drinking alcohol these past
Oh my
5.
God.
Yeah, they hit you.
No, not that.
Oh, yeah,
this
that.
fucking band.
Wow.
Like, that wasn't happening until right then. It's like we said White Claw, and that was the kickoff.
They're like,
White Claw. They're like, White Claw, have a song about that. What are we even gonna do? Do we start this episode over?
No.
Do we wait? God, but it's
Is it that bad? I can't tell. What's it doing on the thing?
let's
it's
see.
pretty.
Everyone be
basic.
quiet for like 3 solid seconds.
Is it up
Yeah, I
there?
mean it's coming through. It's coming through all 3 mics.
Yeah, it's there.
man.
And it's not going to get any better when I compress the files. It brings all the the low shit up to even everything out. So it's like our second
Yeah.
guest is the band next door.
Yeah, they were real quiet for a solid 20 minutes. We're like, okay, we can be good to start.
What the fuck do you want to do? Do you want to wait? Do you want to try and do this shit over?
We don't have to do it over. We can just say, hey, we'll be back.
We'll be back after.
It's not the first time we've done this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be back after these messages,
Check.
God damn it.
and we back in this bitch.
Welcome back to Heckin' Cool Dads. Hope you enjoyed those words from our sponsors.
Miracle of modern technology.
I should
Dick pills. Right? That's what you're supposed to...
dick pills.
Like, that's what you're supposed to, hawk on podcasts, right?
Dick pills?
It doesn't like Joe Rogan,
Well, he does
Alex
like
Jones.
on it, and then there's.
Well, doesn't he obviously is getting a kickback or something.
Well,
from-
Oh, yeah.
He's a stakeholder or partial owner of On It, right? So,
Yeah.
and he's been doing that for a long time. But then there's got Quip, which is like the toothbrush thing.
Oh,
They
yeah,
send
yeah.
you that all the time.
Pete Holmes always does the CBD oil and these special shakes.
What the fuck is the deal with CBD oil? I think we talked about this before, but
It's the same as weed, but it doesn't have THC in it. So it gives you all the anti-anxiety, all the health benefits of weed, but doesn't get you stoned.
okay.
So like you can like take it's like for focus and for anxiety and stuff like that. Like a lot of people take it religiously every day. Sierra's got a little CBD pen that she uses for her anxiety, and it works really well
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
They just
is
use
that
they-
shit's 100% legal?
in every state.
Every state. That's wild. I'm about to get one. Not a pen. I ain't trying to fuck with the pen.
No, you just get a little like eyedropper and you put 2 drops under your tongue or whatever in the morning.
I was about to say, if it has to go in my eye, that was a straight no.
Yeah, I don't even. Dude,
So the only way to consume CBD oil
I was
is
like, wait a minute,
because
that's
you
the
see
through your butt.
CBD.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I
What did
like-
you just tell me? Hold on, Colin. What are you talking about? What was the joke? C.
'Cause he's-
Oh, I get it. C. Like, C.
Jesus.
God damn.
Wow.
I missed the fucking joke. I needed to have an explanation. I refused to go further into this podcast unless I was brought up to fucking speed. Now I get it. C like SEE.
It was stupid.
Motherfuck.
It was this really stupid joke.
I got it.
All right. So
I've been around my father-in-law all weekend, so it was like lots of jokes like
just
that.
full on dad jokes.
Oh man, he's so
you
good.
realize that like episode like 1, we had a whole thing on dad jokes.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And here
It's
we
crazy
are.
to fuck. Here we are, 24.
24, and I'm making worse ones.
I feel like from here on out, we should somehow relate the number to some type of like urban slang. Like, and it's because for the past
I
few,
feel like that's
I
a
mean, this is
slippery
the
slope.
all-day episode.
that's what I'm saying.
What?
So remember when 24s were like considered big rims and now they come stock on vehicles? Well, they were called all days.
Okay.
Like shit, I'm riding on all days
This is-
because 24 hours.
This is our hood
Yeah, I don't
History.
know that stuff.
Yeah.
right there. That's where that came from.
This is a pretty bold statement on your shirt there.
You mean Lyndon B. Johnson? Absolutely.
Oh my God. Is that a homage shirt?
No, it's another brand, but yeah. LeBron James
Man,
is
you can-
better
you
than
can
Mike
say that-
Jordan.
I mean, okay. I'm with you.
All day, every day.
I'm with you. You know,
I grew up in the 90s too. Yeah.
you got the
Better,
Jordans on.
better shoes.
Hey, man, I
All-
fuck with the LeBrons. I love them.
I mean, MJ's got the better shoes. I'll give him that.
Can,
but
can I say that from this angle, all I saw was BJ? And I was like, I agree, dude. BJs are fucking great. I'm not sure what an MJ is, but I think BJs are definitely better. Now I see it's fucking LBJ.
I was thinking, what could MJ stand for?
Michael Jackson.
Well, no. Just staring at the beehole all day.
Buttholes?
Yeah, from the Dave Chappelle skit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was talking to my dad before I left. My dad's in town, and he's been listening to a few episodes.
Fuck yeah.
Well, it's funny because
Of this?
yeah, because he was
boy.
because like 2 weeks ago we were talking and I was like, yeah, I was talking about the podcast and he was like, you have a podcast? And I was like, Dad, we just did like episode 22. And he goes, oh, I guess I have seen you post about it a little bit. And I was like, yeah, we just like bullshit and, you know, just talk and drink beers and laugh and stuff.
Like, Dad,
And-
you should listen to it. You've been talked about on, like, I don't know,
and
7
he goes-
episodes.
He goes, today he goes, so I've listened to a few episodes and I like it. I think it's funny and stuff like that. He goes, do you guys ever like talk about anything substantial?
Like, no,
No.
we're not fucking news radio.
No. I've listened to all of them. And
Hell yeah.
no, you do not talk about anything substantial.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
However, I do like live text Jeff when I listen to these things, answering questions that are posed to me
Yeah.
and in these podcasts. Like, I'm sure Kyle would know, and I'm like, yeah, I do know that. It's,
How are you going to introduce yourself?
I said long time reference, first time appearance in this podcast because
Yeah.
every time I'm talked about. I'm like,
You know
oh,
what?
hey.
Kyle is like our Bill Nye the Science Guy. That's what it is. He's the person I go to. And no one doesn't like Bill Nye. Like, who doesn't like Bill Nye?
Nobody.
Right. And no one doesn't like Kyle. That's wait.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, damn, do you know something I
I'm
don't?
kidding.
Damn.
I was thinking back, like, I don't have any stories where people don't like Kyle, unless it was like random hood encounters where people just wanted to try and jump Kyle. Cause, you know,
Yeah, there was one of those.
Kyle looked mad jumpable, I guess.
Are you a South End guy too?
Yeah, I grew up a block away from
a
him.
street over from me.
Huh.
But here's the thing. I don't actually remember. I mean, obviously we lived a block away from each other, a block over, a block down, but I don't really remember how I met you.
I remember being introduced to you by the infamous Pook or Mike B.
Yeah.
It's one
My
of
cousin Pookie.
his cousin.
Wow.
Yeah, I got cousin Pookie.
That cousin, yeah. So
Shit, what was that from? Is that from like New Jack City or?
It's like Friday or something.
no, it wasn't Friday.
It's something else.
New
It
Jack
was.
City.
It wasn't New Jack. It's one of those other ones. It's not Friday. It's something like intended to be more legit. but there was like a skinny crackhead named Pookie. Wasn't he the one that was like, I suck your dick or I got these cheeseburgers? I think he was that dude.
That was Chris Rock. That was Chris Rock.
Was that Pookie?
Chris, I don't know if that was Pookie, but the character you just referenced was Chris Rock.
Oh,
That wasn't that in CB4 or whatever that movie was, Chris Rock?
No, it was New Jack City because Wesley Snipes was the
I
guy.
keep saying something, you're like, no, it was New Jack City.
Yeah, you're
Nope.
like, hey,
Jack
look,
City.
Colin, for the fucking 50th time. Well, look, you guys have phones and shit. Like, somebody could look
My
that shit
phone's
up.
on the
I
snare
don't feel
drum.
like it.
Why would you put the phone on the snare drum?
Because I sat over there while you was setting up, and then I forgot it after I sat back here, and I said, we're just going to go without it. We're going to do it live, boys.
We'll do it live! Fuck it! Fuck it!
So earlier when we were talking about Jordan and shoes and all that shit, during the break, I stepped on your shoe.
Yeah,
That used to be some like in the hood. That was some fighting shit. If you scuff someone's like Jay's, yeah, like you would be right on fighting. But you do have some brand new shoes, and you reminded me why you have new shoes. Why is that, Kyle?
Yeah, so a couple weekends ago, Jeff invited me over to his house to, I guess, have the inaugural fire pit.
Yeah, I've had it
burning.
I've had it since fucking May. We've had no fires in the pit since May. It's been brand new.
I came over and just was sitting around with him and Amy and Hayden. We were just hanging out, and I put my shoes on the rim of it. It was, it was a brick, a solid, I would say 6 inches away. Didn't realize it until about halfway through the night. I was like, oh, I've just burned the bottom of my shoes.
It's like a big like divot in it.
Yeah, and
he was fucking like peeling, like, no, the fucking sole, like the sole's glued onto shoes, right?
yeah.
Well, it loosened the glue, and the whole sole was
my
just
God.
like, I'm out.
Yeah, so at that
You
point,
didn't feel that?
no,
Weird.
Nah, dog. His feet was toasty though.
yeah, I did. I mean, I felt the warmth, but it was a little bit insulated from all that rubber. So right then and there, I ordered a new pair of shoes from Amazon, some new Nikes, and I was like, okay, cool. And
That's
he
the
steps
beauty.
on them today.
That's the fuck it. They look too nice. They need scuffed up, Kyle. Like you can't.
Some bullshit.
Here's the thing. Like there are certain shoes that you're supposed to wear, and they're supposed to stay super crispy and nice, and like you get pissed off when you get the first scuff. And then there are other shoes where they're your everyday shoes, and they just look too nice. They look out of fucking place nice. Right now, those still look out of place nice. So I'm trying to do you a favor.
Yeah. I mean, I would have wore my normal like workout shoes, but those were soaked because over the weekend I went down to Hocking Hills with my wife for her birthday, and we went hiking yesterday. And halfway through the hike, we were about this was a small little trail. It started downpouring, and we had our dogs with us. And it was in the middle of the woods, and it was not like
Damn, y'all tried to like have like a nice getaway and brought the dogs?
Yeah, they were great. Dogs are awesome.
Your dogs are huge. See, that's the difference. You have good dogs. I just have dogs that I'm constantly considering giving to Colin.
Dogs take work, man.
Dude, fuck that.
I've done a lot of training for these dogs. I mean, I grew up with tons and tons of dogs. Also, like we lived in the South End, and I was one of those houses that had like 3 to 4 dogs at minimum the entire time.
He's also he had a dog named Dog.
Nice.
DOG. It was DOG.
Like DOG
yeah. And then there was AD
for a dog.
A dog. Yeah.
And there was FD,
Yeah.
fucking dog.
My parents were very creative when it came to dog names. So I personally, I don't like people names for dogs. I like silly or humorous names for my pets as opposed to like legit names.
Dog. Your one dog's name is Katie.
Yeah. It's spelled Katy, but in my head, I like to say KD as in kill a dog.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I didn't see that coming.
You went from like the whitest white woman's name ever to the whitest joke.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Your dog is
That's me. I mean,
kill a dog.
she is
Dog.
the least killer dog out of anything. I mean,
Dog.
she's the dog.
DAWG.
DAWG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dog is one
Loves people way too much.
latte away from asking for the manager.
Yep.
I was gonna bust your balls for wearing a tank top in non-tank top weather, but it is hot as fucking here.
It's
One,
steamy.
it's hot as fucking here.
You
Two,
did come from the
I
gym.
came straight from the gym.
I just feel like this has like been like the least tank toppy day we've had in a while.
Yeah, when I went outside this morning, I got in the car. It was 54 degrees.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I was aware of 54 degrees outside. It's fucking crazy. First day of autumn. Was that yesterday?
I think it was
2 days ago?
Saturday.
Fuck, man. You see, I don't know shit about shit. I did see a news headline today. What's her face? Nancy Pelosi, is that her name?
Yeah.
Starting the
Shit's getting real, man.
Yeah,
Speaker
starting
of the
the formal impeachment investigation.
And it's not gonna. I mean, it's not going to change anything
because
it's not going to get past the Senate.
Yeah, the
but,
Senate's.
But it's largely symbolic of a huge cultural shift in the mindset of the way people are viewing
Well,
this.
when you ask a foreign government to dig up dirt on your political rival, that's kind of a big deal.
Well, it's funny because we spent the last 3 years saying, look what this guy did. He asked a foreign government to dig up dirt on his rival. And he's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, it didn't. No. And then like literally yesterday on camera, he's like, yeah, I said it.
Yeah. Okay, so how many... I know that only, I want to say 3 presidents have ever been impeached, right? You got like
Bill
Clinton.
Nixon.
But Nixon resigned before it happened.
Right.
Then is it Andrew Johnson? Is that the other one?
Yes.
Yes, Andrew Johnson. And that's the only ones I know of. Did we try on any other presidents?
I don't think so.
No.
Fuck. So,
Serious
I mean,
business.
it's still a historic event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. What do you guys think yeah, I agree. It's not getting past Senate. You get past House probably.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
The House we have a Democratic majority in the House, so that's gonna. Even then, though, some of those Democrats are in kind of like embattled districts, so it's possible they might not necessarily go with the normal vote just to try, or with the rest of the party, and just try to save what they have with their district. But I feel that people should be on record on what they honestly believe his behavior is.
Yeah.
And right now it's still a very big if because we don't know all the details yet. But if he did withhold military aid as a bargaining chip, that's like literally one of the most corrupt things any president has ever done. So,
That we know of.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
in public view.
That was nice, Kyle. I like your off-camera burp.
Oh yeah, I have a lot.
Not
of
even
practice.
off-camera, off-microphone burp.
Yeah, I have a lot of practice. I play a lot of video games, and I spend a lot of time on a microphone talking with other nerds like myself. And it's polite to not burp or.
Which is
do
crazy because the very first thing we did when we got in here is I was busting your ass like, oh, he doesn't ever talk into a microphone. Here's how you use it, Kyle.
I'm talking to a mic all the time for work and foreplay. I'm always on the phone.
That seems hella sexual.
Hey, baby.
I hope this
Let me get
is
close to
working
my
to
mic,
everyone
baby.
that's listening, I guess.
Yeah, you're getting them,
Let me
them
know.
going.
Hit me in the DMs.
Oh, you just pulled a Colin.
I know.
That was a Colin reference.
But for sexual things, not for fighting words.
Yeah. I mean, this shit got all the way real. Like, Colin's heavily breathing into the mic. Kyle's married as fuck and still asking for
True.
some DMs.
Super married.
Super married.
Super married. That's where I was. I was in Hocking Hills.
But
for my wife's
no
birthday.
ring. No ring, Kyle.
Yeah, because I got way too skinny to wear the ring that I was originally fitted with.
Fuck. Keto Kyle.
Yeah.
Keto fucking Kyle.
Well, I realized yesterday that, I've just got a ring.
Oh, yeah. I mean, me too. Let me tell you, when I first got a ring, I had extreme anxiety about getting my finger, just having it stuck.
Like that Jimmy Fallon shit.
Dude, he told me
I
he
don't
went
know.
through a bunch of different rings because he was afraid that he couldn't be able to cut it off.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Let me clarify. Let me clarify. I opted for gold because of 2 things. One,
Softer.
if I ever smash my hand, they don't have to cut my finger off. They can actually cut the ring off. Number 2, who knows? I might gain 50 pounds and need to have it resized. You can't do that with all those fucking $27 tungsten or whatever ring, those hard ass metal rings.
Mine's white gold. I just haven't got it resized yet because I'm too fat for it.
I mean, I feel. Did you spring for like the unlimited resizing and shit like that?
I don't know. It was 15 years ago.
What?
No, it wasn't 15 years
Yeah,
ago.
I was like that.
That's
might be a
long
bit.
Close.
I mean,
12
years ago.
Yeah, 12.
I believe my wife spent $30 to $40 on my ring. She can
Look.
just buy a new one.
That's true, but it's not the original ring. And for some reason, I feel like it needs to be the original ring, Kyle.
I had 6 different rings at my house that she bought that were all the wrong sizes until the one. And that's the one I wore. And then everything else was just bigger.
You know, you can there's a mechanism to check the size of your finger.
She just bought them. They were so cheap. Because I told her I don't care. Like, it's a symbol. I don't care how it...
5 times 30. Hit me. What is it, Kyle?
5 times... my name's Colin.
No.
5 times...
You were looking
30.
at me. You said, what is it? And you were looking at me. It's $150.
Okay. So you spent $150 to find out if the $30 ring fits. That shit don't make no sense.
Oh, my God.
I let her handle all that. I just like...
Sierra doesn't wear her original ring.
What the fuck?
And I bought her both rings.
What do you mean?
Like
an engagement ring? And
I bought her original one.
Oh, okay.
Her engagement ring that, that
Sure.
she had forever. And then on our 10th anniversary, I got her this other ring she really liked.
Okay.
And it's fine. I love the ring, but it's like the second one was like $150.
Okay.
The first one was multiple thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey,
That's why I said I was
maybe
like,
put the one with the real rocks on it.
well, that's why I was like, look, I'm getting a gold ring, and then we talked about it, and I'm like, oh, it's like $600 or $700, right? And she's like, $600 or $700. You could just get this one for $30. I'm like, bitch, you got a Honda Civic on your finger. Like, I afforded a Toyota Corolla onto your hand. Like, can I get a $700 ring? Is it cool? Because I'm afraid to get my hand smashed and no one be able to cut it off. That was real fucking shit.
You're some bitch. You got a Honda Civic.
And
Honda Civics are like $25,000, dude.
I didn't say it was a new Honda Civic. I'm talking it was like a
Bitch,
7.
You got a 1987 Honda Civic.
No, it was way better than that. But it had 30,000 miles on it. Like,
you just broke into the 2000s with your Honda Civic.
That's what I'm saying.
2001,
Don't pull the Carfax. There could be an accident on its record.
It's like when Enterprise sells.
Oh, what happened?
Oh no!
No.
Hold on, camera.
Were we not recording any of that?
I will.
I mean,
we might not have.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
Oh man,
we got no video this time.
It's all right.
That's true. It might not have any video. I don't know.
It's all right. No one needs
part video.
No one needs to see me anyway. They just need to hear my luxurious voice.
Oh, so funny. You should just, when you put it on YouTube, just put like a technical difficulties, like old school technical difficulties slate.
That's what I did to like the very first episode, because what I did not know about phones is they all have a 2 gigabyte file limit. And what happens is they record, and then at 2 gigs, most of them start a new file, but you lose like 3 seconds or 5 seconds in between that. So that's actually why I shoot all these videos in 720p, so that I can get a complete file. Because at 1080, I think I get like an hour and 10 minutes or something, and then it starts a new one. And I'm like, these motherfuckers all go over an hour and 10 minutes, except for maybe today if we can help it, right?
So
never. You guys never do.
it's a
We even when you try.
We did, what was that one? We did like an hour and 10. We've been really good. These last few have all been like hour and a half.
Okay.
We're not doing that 2 hour mark anymore.
Yeah, and I'm just.
I was nervous. I was like, how am I going to be able to fill a lot of conversation? Because I'm not known
it's easy
to talk.
It's super easy. I
mean,
remember
y'all talk a lot.
And that's all you do. You just chime in.
There we go.
That's all it is.
I'm getting it a little bit.
Yeah, that's why Colin and I are perfect to do this, because neither one of us know when to fucking shut up.
True.
It's great.
True. The other night I was drinking whiskey and I was hammered, and my father.
Is that what happens when you drink?
Important details, important backstory. Go on. I was drinking whiskey. I was hammered. Now let me tell you the story.
My father-in-law literally said, I said something, and he leaned over and he goes, "Inside voices."
Because that's the volume knob, Kyle.
Yeah. Yep.
Or Kyle. I meant
Jesus.
Colin. It's all the names. Colin, Kyle.
See, I'm the true friend here.
Yeah, that's true.
You're always on my mind.
And always referenced in this thing.
Yeah, and how long have I been asking you to come do this?
I mean, you've been asking me kind of like jokingly, like, when you gonna be on, Kyle? When you gonna be on, Kyle? And I was like,
well,
I'll help you.
I only asked jokingly because I was pretty sure you were going to say no, because you're not really the type of dude to get on here. You're just the type of dude to live text me and tell me all the shit we did wrong.
Okay, that's definitely happened. But I also tell you when things got right, too.
That's true.
Yeah.
He hit me about the graveyard thing. When I was like, how the fuck do graveyard? Like, I like how we have a couple close friends, and now both of them have been on, and they were both like, just cue up the text and they just hit us, or the fucking the Facebook message or something. I'm like, this is great. Yeah. It's like a very delayed Alexa.
And it's not like a well, actually. It's like a, by the way, in answer to your question.
Yeah, because you guys pose it to whatever internet folk are listening or watching.
Yeah.
Internet folk.
Internet folk.
Hey, this one out here is for all you internet folk.
Internet folk.
So we started to go down the path of blah, 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 sexual, blah, blah, blah. And it reminded me, I walk in, or no, I don't walk in. I'm trying to nap. That's what it is. I'm on the couch. I'm trying to nap, and my wife finds some fucking show, turns it on, right? And, you know, I'm like pretty much asleep, falling asleep. And then I hear something about, I hate my vagina or something like that. And I was like, you know, one eye popped open. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Is this something on Netflix? And then they're like talking about like labiaplasties and shit. Vaginal rejuvenation. Like, these are the words being tossed around. So then it's like, who the fuck can sleep? I can't sleep. I need to know what's going on with this bitch's vagina that she thinks that she needs to reconstruct the whole thing. And it's like, it's this lady, she's like, I'm a mom and blah, blah, blah. And then she opens up her bottom drawer, which, by the way, if you're a mom, like, don't use the bottom drawer, right? Use the top drawer that the kids can't reach. Bottom drawer, it's a fucking treasure trove of just dicks and vibrators.
What show is this?
I cannot remember. It's something, it was either on Netflix or Hulu or something. And it was all about vaginal rejuvenation. And like,
is this Working Moms? Because I think
no, this is a real show about women wanting to get their shit rejuvenated. They wanted to get their vaginal rejuvenated. And I was just like, man, how fucked up does a vagina have to be to need this? Because they all look weird. Like, I'm not sure I've ever seen one that I said, that needs rejuvenated. And I also don't know what that means. But I will say that they were doing something, and they weren't obviously showing it. You know, they're up in the fucking, like, they're up in, like, the stirrups thing, and they, you know, they're blurring it out. But then over there on the table are pieces of vagina.
Pieces of.
Well,
they have taken them off of this woman and they're sitting over on the table. And I was just like, huh, I would love to see some fucking before and after pictures, because I don't know what they're doing, but it could be a part of a vagina.
I can only imagine that it's for like maybe athletes or like someone, or like maybe cyclists or equestrians or something like that.
What, is that a horse?
Where they're riding.
Is that a horse?
Like, yeah, when the people who ride a horse or something. Where
are they called equestrians? I thought that is. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. See it. I should never ask when Kyle says something. I should just take it as fucking fact. When I hear equestrian, I thought that was the horse.
I can only imagine that they're getting that removed or whatever, because it's like an extra skin flap. Because what's funny is
skin flap.
Well, what's hilarious is
I'm not a big fan of this conversation.
Why?
No, what's funny is that my dog Katie actually had to have that type of procedure.
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
I'm not kidding.
Took a crazy leap here that's going to get us some hate mail.
What?
I don't know.
No.
Just jump from women's weird looking vaginas. And by the way, it made me think of my dog had to get.
No, because my dog literally had this procedure where because her flaps were too far in and she was getting urinary tract infections all the time. So we had to have a surgery to where they had to cut that back.
You had to bust the curtains open.
I'm not saying that this
Christ.
is equivalent to what women is. This is my limited understanding, which I'm sure I could probably get yelled at for this if someone listens going, stop, Kyle. This is wrong. Stop talking.
I mean, again.
But yes, that's the only way I can relate to this, is that I had a dog that had that.
So funny.
I had to get up and leave. And it wasn't good. Like, I was fine. I just really wanted...
like, I can't sleep. I got to know I got to leave.
Yeah, I was like, I'm never going to get a fucking nap in if I stay here, because this shit is mad interesting.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, you got up and left because you were more concerned with taking a nap. Not, this is gross.
No, hell no. There is nothing that grosses me out. There are things that creep me out. I don't fuck with spiders or bugs or creepy crawlies.
I've definitely had to kill spiders for Jeff before.
Absolutely. And if you come over, Kyle, I'll find something for you to get.
So, for my wife's birthday, where we had the gaggle of nurses over on Saturday, which one brought literally 100 and some Jello shots and 36 hard seltzers of different kind. But to prep the patio for their arrival, I was asked to clear all the spiders. So I went out there with the bug spray and sprayed all around the patio earlier in the day. And then about an hour later, I walked out and there's like tons of spiders like seizuring all over the place out there that I had to like clean up and then throw away to get everything ready for her birthday party.
A couple weeks ago, I was in the backyard and Miles, one of the kids, came up to me and was like, Dad, there's like a big hornet or something flying around inside the garage, because they had the garage door open, their bikes out and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, well, the door's open, it'll fly out. You know, I didn't think twice about it. And then I went through the back garage door and was like looking around for something in the garage, and I heard this, and I look, and there's a spider web, and there is a motherfucking hornet that's black and white, like white stripes instead of yellow stripes. This fucker is an inch and a half long. I'm not even kidding. And I like was watching it in this like freak in this spider web. And I was like, this motherfucker got what he, and all of a sudden he goes, and fell out of it. And I was like, oh shit. And I like look around and I had some like raid ant killer. And I was just like, he's dead.
He's dead?
Yeah. He went back to hell where he came from.
But
I'm already scared of kind of scared of bees and stuff like that. And this shit was terrifying.
Bees get me.
See, they don't really get me.
You ever seen those Japanese hornets? It's they like
sure I've
sting hospitalizes you.
That shit.
They're this fucking long.
No. Bugs in general, again, freak me out. Actually, just about nature. Just nature in general freaks me out.
Damn, nature, you scary.
Yeah, like all the bugs, all of them. It doesn't matter if it's a cricket or a fucking grasshopper or anything. We've seen an abundance of toads by our house right now for whatever reason. And the motherfuckers like hide right where the grass meets the sidewalk. And then as I walk, they just freak out and hop out in front of me. Dude, it's terrifying. My little dog tries to kill them. Like, so my little dog's like damn near hunting them. June, oh my God, she jumped. I've never seen my dog jump this high. Yanked the leash out of my hand. I was like, whoa! Just because a toad jumped like on our shit.
My dogs kept wanting to chase after squirrels and chipmunks while walking on a couple of these hikes. What was funny is like we were walking through Old Man's Cave, and Lauren had Copper, and there is some like very single file pathways through Old Man's Cave, and going up these like stairs that are made into the cave. Copper was going first, and literally didn't see the stairs directly to the right and just jumped up to the ledge that would go off about 20 feet
shit.
down.
Did you have the dog on a leash?
Yeah, she was on a leash.
Okay.
It's just that this was like waist high that she just leapt up onto this thing to jump off, thinking that's the way to go, because she didn't realize that this thing scared the hell out of my wife. And I'm like doing my best not to fall, and I have the other dog in front of me, Katie, and it's just I thought that was funny. My wife could not stop talking about that whole bit for like the rest of the trip, and then we decided to get stuck in the rain in the middle, which was also fun.
Somebody just died at Old Man's Cave.
Yeah.
The photographer, right?
Yeah, they had some sections definitely blocked off. I don't recall anything specific to that type of thing when I was there.
There are some spots around there that are pretty dangerous.
Oh yeah,
Shit, there's some spots even around in high banks that sketch me out a little bit.
Mhm.
But that's also because I'm going where the fuck I shouldn't be going.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Ignore the signs that say "Do not go past this point."
they
and
don't really have signs. They just have these like little dirt trails, and I'm like, people have been here.
I went 2 years ago. We went to Tucson to visit my brother-in-law, and we went up to the Grand Canyon. And I'd never seen it before, and I stood like 8 or so inches away from the ledge, and just the sinking feeling when you look down and you know it's a mile down.
Do you are you afraid of heights in general?
No, like I like flying in planes. I like being in skyscrapers. Like I like riding roller coasters and stuff like that. But like it's less the height and more the
It's very visceral when you see it right there. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like this thing is like, I like took my kids. We were in Virginia Beach last weekend, and we went to the ocean on Sunday. Saw dolphins. It was pretty cool. They were probably 300 feet out and you could see them cresting their backs up. It was cool. There's like pelicans diving around. It was the craziest thing. And, but my kids had never been to the ocean before, and they'd been to like the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior. And I was like, so I want you guys to know, like, before we go, this is different. You can't just go out 100 feet. Like there's rip currents, it drops off quick. There's undertow, all that shit. And I kept telling them, you need to respect the ocean. Like, that's the way I was putting it, was like, it is way more powerful than you. And that's the feeling. That's what it is. It's not like a fear of heights so much. It's just like you like get close to that edge and it's like, and it's just like, holy shit.
One time we went to Chicago for the Chicago Tattoo Convention with Dave, and it was me, Kyle.
He's like, "Fuck your story. I'm talking about tattoos."
No,
this is
related.
Leading to.
And Kyle already knows where I'm going with this.
Oh yeah,
because he probably had it in his mind too.
You got one of those clear ass things?
Yes. So there's a thing called Skydeck.
Yeah.
In Chicago, and the premise of it, for those who don't know, is you go up a fucking gargantuan amount of flight of
Is that
levels.
on Sears Tower?
Yeah.
Or the Willis Tower?
Willis Tower is like 140 floors up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you walk out onto this clear thing that you can just look down. What'd it take me? Fucking 30 minutes to get on that thing?
Yeah. Are we talking before or after you crawled out onto it?
Damn.
Oh,
Did
blast.
I crawl?
Blast.
Bro, we got pictures where we didn't.
We hard styled on it, like laying down.
Yeah, we laid down on it, but we also did not necessarily walk straight on it. We like sat down.
I scooted
and scooted down.
Oh, I
to
did
it.
scoot.
You did scoot.
I remember that. I did scoot. Yeah, it took me a minute to get on that thing.
See,
nah, I'm not like that.
And then all the other people were like doing handstands and shit, and I'm like, I don't know what it is. Can't do it.
The way I see it, I guess the way I see it is like I like immediately rationalize it in my head. It's like the only reason this is legal is because they have to like check it every day.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff.
I think they retract too, right? Don't they like come out from the side of the building?
I do not know that. I do not know.
I think they retract. There's another one in California, I think, somewhere where it's a glass slide. Like you go from one floor to the floor right below it on the outside by way of a glass slide. It's the same concept.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Now that would be kind of scary.
Yeah,
dude.
All
of it.
CN Tower has the same type of thing in Toronto. And there are 3 layers, 3 different levels. And my wife and I went to the very, very top one. It doesn't have glass. It's just net. In one of the sections, but but not the top. In the top, sorry,
some string.
In the top, it literally
silly string.
Well, yes, there is one section where it's just literally netting, and you get out there and your clothes are being blown everywhere. So, but at the very, very top, there is a pendulum, and it's in this little area, and you just see the pendulum swinging back and forth. My wife goes, "What's that?" And I was like, "That pendulum isn't actually moving. We're the ones.
The
moving.
building is moving.
We're the ones
No
actually moving."
shit.
Yeah. So she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "The pendulum is still. We're the ones swaying around the pendulum." She's like, "No, that is not real." I was like,
engineers
"Yes."
are fucking crazy.
I was like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, that's legit because you see it go a solid 3 to 4 inches left and right. It was wild. I loved it.
That's wild.
I loved it.
The Grand Canyon does. I saw it while we were there. It was off in the distance, but there was like another place you go, and it had like a glass thing that went out, and then like a big glass thing.
Yeah, China has a bunch of that stuff too. China's like got crazy stuff where they like have these ledges and cliffs where they have obstacles where you as a tourist can like do crazy things over it. And
Fucking
they
like
secure
American
it.
Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, over these cliffs.
Oh.
But they secure you. I watched this video the other day where this guy did this crazy long run jump across a bunch of different things thinking he was secured. But once he landed, the chain fell off. He was never actually secure.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yikes!
Exactly.
I'm just going to do a little callback here because I said, "Oh, engineers are crazy," and we also talked about Bill Nye. Did you know that motherfucker had no science background, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to school for engineering.
Yeah,
degree.
he all he had was like a bachelor's from Cornell.
Yeah, he worked at Lockheed Martin before.
Yeah, that's crazy. But he just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna be a science guy."
Yeah,
and everybody just respects the shit out of his science.
Well, I mean, he learned the true scientific method, and he's a a progenitor of science. Him and like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He's like a Wikipedia of science where he like knows a little bit about everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he can speak, and Neil deGrasse Tyson's very similar, where he can always speak some fact to something.
When I actually had a Twitter and tried to fucking figure out just how Twitter works and how it incorporates in my life, my favorite parody account was that Bill Nye though. Dude, is that not one of the fucking best fucking plays? Hey, hand me one of those white Cleesies. Or the last one, rather.
It's the last one.
White Cleesies.
Yeah.
I mean, there are 3 more in the fridge because I brought my own. I was unaware that Jeff was thoughtful enough to ask Con to bring White Claw for me, so I brought my own hard seltzers, which I brought a plethora of flavors of my own.
It was slightly self-serving. I did want to try this shit, even though I got, oh, look at you, Kyle. Kyle's raging. That was pretend that was drywall, and Kyle just punched a hole in it.
We have a Halloween costume waiting to go for sure.
So I had a interesting day, or a couple days, where literally something went wrong with all 3 of my children. Like
they're still alive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But just
not
like,
too wrong.
The check engine light came on, but they're still going.
So Sunday morning. So Saturday. We're at the Virginia Beach Air Show, which was fucking so awesome. Because I used to go to air shows all the time as a kid. My dad used to always take us.
Like Blue Angels and shit?
Yeah. But my brother-in-law, or like Sierra's stepbrother, he's the crew chief.
He's a pilot, right? Or no, he's a mechanic,
he's
right?
the crew chief for one of the Thunderbirds.
Got it.
And like his name is on the plane next to the pilot.
That's super cool.
Like he's the head mechanic for that plane. And so they were performing and he got us in, got like VIP parking, like going past like dudes with guns in their hands. He just shows credentials to and then like we got to sit in like the Thunderbirds like friends and family area. And it was like we were like on the runway right in the middle. I've gone to a million air shows. I've never been like on the run. It was unreal. Anyway.
So you were on the runway. Did the planes take off over you?
Like in front of us.
Oh man. Okay.
You know, and but then so we're out in the sun all day, dehydrated, all that stuff. And then Sunday morning we get up and I come downstairs and Miles is already up and he's laying on the couch and he's in tears. I'm like, "What's going on, man?" And he's like, "My head hurts really bad." It came out of nowhere. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go up and wake up Mom and see if we brought some ibuprofen or something like that." Go upstairs, wake her up for a sec. I come down 2 minutes later. He's puking all over the kitchen in this Airbnb we're in. Okay. And
projectile or more just like flow?
Kyle needs the deets.
It was already beyond the happening. My father-in-law was dealing with it. And so then his head was pounding and is coming and going. And then, so we were going to go to the ocean that day.
Was he hungover? That's
sure.
how I'd be getting.
And Sierra was like, you know, I was a little older than him, but I started getting migraines when I was his age, and if it came on so fast and made him puke, it's probably a migraine. So then we were like, okay, well, I'll take him to urgent care because then they'll like give him like they could give him an IV of fluids, they can give him a better painkiller, stuff like that. Get halfway there. Oh, the funny thing too is it was the cutest thing. But he was like really like on the couch and with his head like in Sierra's hands, and he's like, "Does this mean I don't get to go to the ocean today?" It was like so cute. Anyway, we're on our way to urgent care, and then all of a sudden he's like talking to me about the game he's playing on his iPad, and I was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your head at right now? Or where was your head earlier? And he's like, a 7 or 8, and I was like, where's that now? And he's like, maybe a 2. Called Sierra, and I was like, do I really want to do like a 2-hour wait at the urgent care if this is nothing?
Right.
And then we end up going to the ocean, and he's fine. I don't think I've ever seen that kid have more fun in my life. That dude was fighting 3 to 5 foot waves for 4 hours. It was wild. He could have gone 3 more. Anyway, so that's kid number 1. And so then we're at the beach and we're in the water, and I look up and I see Rowan is crying up at our little beach tent in the blanket and stuff. Go up. He stepped on a fucking dead porcupine fish, which is basically a puffer fish,
Yeah.
in the sand. So like we're all like Googling, making sure it's not poisonous and all this shit, and it wasn't. But like that ruined his hour. You know, I mean, he didn't get back in the water for a while after that, and he was like really flustered and all that. It's 2. And I'm like, what else could go wrong? Nothing else happened that day except for I got super hammered and fell asleep. I passed out before my kids did, or like before my kids went to bed. But then get up the next morning, go home, drive home all day. Everything's fine. Middle of the night last night, 3 a.m. Beatrice wakes me up. I just puked all over the bathroom.
Damn. You got some bad seafood or something?
I don't know. Because then we got up this morning. We kept her home from school, obviously. But like, she was fine. Like I stayed home for the first half of the day. And then Sierra came home from work early and I went to work and she was fine. But it's just like in a span of 2 days, like shit went down with all 3 of my kids and it was the worst. And it was in the middle of like having such a fun time.
Yeah.
I can confirm though, a 10-hour drive when you are extremely hungover the whole time is awful.
I'm telling you, man. Not only do we need to get we need alcohol sponsors because we drink alcohol on every one of these episodes. 2, I'm trying to get a liquid IV sponsor because I wake up every morning and have a liquid IV. And if I'm drinking, I have one before I go to bed. And I have not had a hangover since.
Wait, that was that shit that you made me drink in his car?
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
How'd you feel that next morning?
I only barely remember. I don't remember.
You was pretty far gone.
That was
you was
I'm
having
not
a good
sure.
time.
I'm not sure anything would help that night.
Been a long time since Dad got that drunk.
You were celebrating your birthday with style.
So I have a question, Colin. You may notice that the mic stand is a little looser than normal.
I think you referred to it earlier as wiggly.
Yeah, it's wiggly.
Careful with that. You almost knocked me out with that.
No, I've been watching.
I leave it wiggly because you fuck with it so much. And it's like your thing now. Like you like to fuck with the mic and wiggle it around. So I leave it wiggly on purpose.
You make it sound like I do it for show.
No. I
can't help it.
I know.
Don't even
You're
think
fidgety.
about it.
It's an adult fidget spinner. It's what's happening is you wiggle it so much that I leave it not tight so that you can wiggle the thing.
Thanks.
So that it's not going like it sounds like the fucking tricycle that Saul was riding around in that movie. It sounds like that. So I leave it wiggly for you. Do you like that?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it's nice.
Just for you.
I don't know why. Like this is like a nice handle. Like I like that.
I moved it a couple times and it's like come really close to my face.
Honestly, you guys were talking. We were sitting down, setting up, and I like set it to a point, and I like went like this to see like does it touch anything? Does
To
it
get
touch
the range?
anything?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
As long as I don't lean too far.
Yeah. It could be the perfect storm if Kyle leans to the right, like to crack a fart off or something, and then Colin has to wiggle the mic. You might catch one to the jaw.
It's true. It's true.
You ever been punched, Kyle?
I've been kicked in the neck before.
What?
By Finn.
Okay. Oh yeah. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if you knew. We had a conversation on here about him one time.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah,
because he told me I was fat.
I was thinking back again. I think I've maybe said this on the podcast before, but if not, Kyle is the oldest friend I have, and I mean that from I've had that friend the longest, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't ever remember you getting like punched or really in a fight or anything. I remember some people like trying to jump you coming back from the store one time or something.
Yeah, so I've been in probably 2 fights ever, not counting the time I was almost jumped. So I was walking down. So the time I was almost jumped is I was walking down Phoebus Avenue towards Parsons to make a purchase at the Rite Aid on the corner. I had like $20 in my pocket. And I was walking on the street when 6 kids on 3 bikes.
You know how that went down. It was like
we're coming.
getting doubled on the handlebars.
Doubled on the handlebars or doubled behind. And they come and they surround me. And they go, "What's up?" I'm like, "None." Just trying.
What is this like a normal answer? Like Kyle's like, "Nothing. What's up with you guys?"
I'm literally surrounded at this point. And they go, "What you doing?" I'm like, just walking. Like
very matter of fact. I'm going for a stroll.
I had already cased. I was like, this is not going to end well. So I thought I knew one of them I was wrong. And so the smallest one, keep in mind that I'm pretty small. So this kid was my size. Gets off of the front handlebars of one of the bikes and does all the talking. He's the leader apparently. Some Napoleon syndrome in this guy. But he comes up to me, he goes, "What you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just walking down the street." And he's like, "You going to the store? You got any money?" I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm good. I'm just walking down the street." He puts his hand in my pocket. I slapped his hand and he said, "Motherfucker, you done fucked up now." I didn't even hesitate. I just turned around and ran a block to my house. And these the other, like the 3 kids that were still on the bike were chasing me on their bike, and I outran them to get home. That's like how I saved myself from almost getting jumped by that. But the other 2 times I got in a fight was one, it was in middle school. Kid was upset that he couldn't tackle me fairly in Smear the Queer. It was the game they used to play back in the day.
Back when that was an appropriate game title.
That was the game. That he was upset that he could not tackle me. And I was the only other, he and I were the 2 white kids in the school in that same grade. And so he was trying to prove himself to everyone else. And I got tackled by like 3 other kids, and he kicked me while I was down. So at that point in time, I got up and I punched him, and we got into a little tumble at that point. Other than that, there's not much more. I've always tried to get out of fights, and I don't want to fight. I'll defend myself, but I'm not one to instigate.
I'm not one to instigate, but I just want to do hood rat things with my friends.
Yeah, you say that a lot, actually. I just want to do hood rat things with my hood friends.
When
I know I grew up in the hood, but I am not
just
that
when
hood.
when I get really drunk, like I'll just be like, "Fuck that guy." Like I just find a guy,
and I'm right there. I'm like,
guy.
Okay, well,
I'm like, Kyle, you got my back.
Yeah.
Kyle, you got my back.
I mean, I'm definitely monitoring. I'm like looking around and paying attention to shit.
I had a situation like that where I like legitimately ruined Sierra's 10-year high school anniversary.
You told me.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you told on the podcast that you got fucking...
I was like, look at this fucking guy.
Yeah. I love it. Kyle once headbutted me. I still have a scar.
Yeah, I headbutted him. I also almost knocked him out with my bass.
Yeah.
One time.
I forgot about that.
We're playing a show in Virginia.
Was it?
It was West Virginia. Sorry, I did say Virginia. It was in West Virginia, and so the time when we were in Capital Tragedy, when that happened, was he was to my left.
Yeah.
We never have this formation now because of this incident.
I refuse. I only play stage right now.
Yeah, because when he was to my left, the headstock of the bass would be closer to him.
And he played the heaviest bass on the planet.
I played the Music Man still at that point.
And it has a tuning knob. One of the tuning knobs is on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got like the 4 on top, 1 on bottom type thing.
And Capital Tragedy was, hardcore band, and hardcore band musicians move around a lot.
I was gonna say, like, that was a sweet spot time though, when it, because I was in a metalcore band.
Yeah.
And it's like a spastic.
Yeah, all the stage moves were reflective of like Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yeah, it was part of the music. You didn't just write spastic metalcore. You had to go off on stage too. Like it was like we were watching Dillinger, we were watching Norma Jean, we were watching all these bands that were going fucking wild. I remember playing with From a Second Story Window, that tech metalcore band from Youngstown. And at Midgard Comics, and fucking their bass player Joey had a P bass. It's got those big flat fucking thing. Put it right through the guitar player's cheek.
Holy shit!
Yeah, man,
through the cheek.
Yo, I can't compete with that. I almost knocked you out. I mean,
Kyle knocked me out, and like in Capital Tragedy, like 83% of our riffs were open notes.
It was just open palm mutes.
Right, open palm mutes. Like they were just different rhythms and shit. Like it was that time frame. So I go down, but I come up just going zhun, 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 just walking around hitting open notes. No one really noticed because they were open notes and they were in the same key as everything we were playing. But yeah, I just came up in a weird open note pattern until I really fucking regained like what the fuck was going on. And then the time he headbutted me was just like some new metal mosh pit at Alrosa, and he headbutted me in the eye, and I remember like it knocked me back, and I was like, oh fuck, and then Kyle goes, money, you're bleeding, and I was like, oh fuck, okay. So I go to the bathroom, and I go like this, and then I flex my forehead around, and I could see like stuff in, like fat inside there, and I was like, that probably needs stitches, but I had never really had like stitches or anything back, so I was like, I don't know, put a Band-Aid on that bitch, and just like I pinched my skin together, put the Band-Aid here, put the tape up here, and held it together. Never got stitches, and dude, my eyebrow just started growing back over that spot like 2 years ago. I can still feel it like when I take my finger like this, but yeah.
Yeah, I scarred him for life on that one.
It's funny.
I got so many stories with Kyle. So Kyle was always a sporty kid, right? He was always like good at sports and shit like that. And I was always a dick. And that's no, still like this is still true. Like Kyle's still like good at sports. Like he can golf and shit, and like I can't. I'm just good at being a dick. So I'm giving him all this shit. He's on the golf team in high school, and he would carry his clubs to school and shit, like on his back, he'd carry his clubs.
Oh, this is funny.
And I was just going at him one day, like, man, fuck you, Kyle. Fuck your stupid golf clubs. Golf is for fucking old people, Kyle. This is stupid. Just being a dick, like getting under his skin. I could tell it was actually working. Of course, that meant I did it more. So I keep going. He fucking stops in the alley. He goes, you know what? We're going to hit some fucking golf balls right now. He sets the clubs down, and I was like, wait, what? He's like, we're going to hit some fucking golf balls right now. I was like,
you tell me if you can do this.
Yeah, and so he sets this golf ball down, and we're like 30 foot from a building. He goes, hit it on top of the building. I'm like, fuck you, Kyle, that's impossible. That's the fucking golf ball goes that way. It doesn't go up. Kyle goes, well, if you know what you're doing, it goes up with this club. And he hands me this fucking wedge of some sort. And I was like, what? That's not, no, bullshit. Give me that fucking club. I whack it. It hits the building. It was like a line drive. I know that's a different sport, but it was like a line drive with a club. The ball comes barreling back at us. I'm like, pew, duck out of the way. Kyle takes it, hits a ball, and it goes straight the fuck up and on the building. And I go, fuck you, Kyle. I was like, fuck you, Kyle. I'm still better at golf than you. Like, I refuse to not talk shit. So then he goes, all right, you know what we're doing next? Next, we're going to the driving range. And so we go to the fucking driving range, and he sets some shit up, and he like whacks some. And then he gives me the club, and I did okay. I did way better than he thought I was going to do.
That's true. He did.
He was like, he goes, okay, all right, fuck, you're okay at this. And because I got his like approval, I was like, fuck you, Kyle, I'm better at golf than you. And this is like, at this point, it's been like a year and a half. I've been talking shit about being better at golf. So he took me golfing, I don't know, 6, 7, 10 times maybe.
Yeah.
I've never been golfing.
And the first time we go golfing, we go to Raymond Memorial. It's kind of like,
golfing.
It's like a bullshit course.
Yeah.
And I show up in full golf outfit, but I had a black flat bill on. So I had a black flat bill. I had a polo. I had the worst plaid shorts I could find, full on golf. And, we go golfing, and it's fucking fun.
Yeah.
I actually caught the bug for it. Like, then I was like, when are we going golfing again? Like, it's
you just, ride around a golf cart, drinking beer.
It's like just the most chill sport that's ever existed.
Super chill.
Unless you're James fucking Tricazzi, who almost got kicked out for like ramping golf carts in like creeks and shit that you're not supposed to be on the embankment, but he's like, like
fishtailing
drifting.
it.
Yeah, he's like drifting,
trying to do his own Tokyo drift moves.
Yeah,
and these things.
Long before Tokyo Drift, I'm guessing.
I mean, he was still into that before the movie came out. The Westland kids, they were all about that back then.
So, something we've talked about several times on this podcast is scooters.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said a number of times that Kyle's laughing because every time Kyle gets around me, I'm like, hey, Kyle, you want to fucking go ride some scooters?
Anytime we're downtown, he's like,
I try to get him to ride scooters.
Scooters around here.
Every time. Our last show, I was like, dude, download this fucking app, use this code, you'll get a fucking free ride. We went whipping everywhere. But regardless, we have a scooter at work. We have some new people, and the new people are like, holy shit, there's a scooter here? We take them out. Everybody's like, this is the best place ever. it's got all of us wanting to buy scooters. So I did some Googling to find me some scooters, right? And now all of my ads are on Instagram. All of them are scooter ads.
It's hilarious.
This one pops up the other day, and I go, man, it looks way nicer than most scooters. Let me click on this. I click on it. How fucking fast do you think this scooter went?
I'm forbidden to answer this
the
question.
normal scooters go 15.9, so I'd call it 23.
56.
Oh!
56 miles an hour. This scooter, it has a range of like 24 miles, which means like you can't even ride it for an hour. 56 miles an hour. I can't even believe that's legal. How's it legal to have that? That's a death trap.
It's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
How much more of a death trap is it than a motorcycle? Really? I mean, it's 2 wheels.
Yeah, but
I mean, are you if you're not wearing a helmet on a motorcycle and or a scooter going over a particular speed?
yeah, but the
You
motorcycle
messed
is like
up anyway.
a motorcycle has like a full-on fucking suspension and lots of like research around it and bigger wheels. A scooter has like 6-inch wheels. Like I just can't imagine how the fuck that thing.
50, because I've talked on here before about those scooters are just fast enough to be fun, just slow enough to feel like you're in control still.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're a
And
blast.
that's at 15.
that's what I'm saying. Ours at work goes 14.9.
Yeah.
I only know that because I opened up Waze and tested it one day.
That one night when he
doesn't
first
have a
got me on a
speedometer?
scooter,
Nah.
mine was going 17. I felt pretty crazy on that one. I was
Yeah,
like,
and imagine if you hit a fucking pothole on the ones like the public ones that are,
I mean, yeah, that mess you
Well, I
up.
told you I got one over 20 going down the fucking convention center, like the 3rd Street by the convention center.
Gravity
It was
will help.
terrifying.
Gravity will definitely help.
It was terrifying. Man, it is hot in here.
It is hot. We're getting close to the time we were shooting for.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Sweet,
we
even with the
we
delay.
basically. Well, I mean, we may not be getting close to the time on the
The
fucking
video will not reflect the true time of the podcast.
I don't know yet. It could have been something else. I don't know if we have video for the I don't know, call it
The second act.
yes, Act 2. I don't know if we have it
It's
for
a
that.
3-part podcast.
So let's see. You went out of town for the
Mhm.
weekend. You went out of town for the weekend.
Yeah.
I was in town. I
Yeah,
had
you had a birthday party.
I had my daughter's
Yeah,
second birthday.
The Taco Tuesday.
Exactly. Taco
thing.
Tuesday.
Yeah, because she's 2. It was on a Saturday, but
Yeah, and
I see what you did.
and she's
Yeah.
a quarter Mexican. So we did the taco theme, right? We catered Chipotle.
Nice.
So we had Chipotle.
sort of upset I missed that. I
Like
missed
where it's in
Chipotle.
like the things and you build your own.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So
you did.
here's the fucking crazy thing I didn't know. When I think catered, I think different pricing. I'm buying it bulk. I should get some kind of discount. You know how they do it? They go, how many people you need food for? I go 20. They go
20 burritos.
20 times 850.
Yeah.
No, 850 is more than it is regular. I should have literally just ordered 20 bowls.
What kind of burrito do you get?
Chicken.
Yeah. See, I get steak. That's $8.50.
Yeah, but we got all chicken. We got all chicken.
All right, you got.
And we didn't even get every ingredient. You got to tell them what ingredients you want. I said, if they was going to be $8.50, we should have got the fucking pico. We should have got everything.
all the guac. Like, give me extra
Well,
guac.
I mean, that shit's extra.
But they do bring it to you and set it up, right?
No, they do not. I went to the
Oh,
store.
what a racket!
They handed me
what
some
a racket!
large boxes.
That's
I went
some
home and set it up.
Shit.
Yeah.
The caveat to that was kind of dope though is everybody had theirs, and then I looked and was like, I got a lot of fucking Chipotle left over. So I broke out the meal prep containers and just started scooping shit in. We sent Andrew home with a fucking huge thing of chicken, like, you know, because it was like.
Did Andrew bring Coke?
He did. He brought
did.
two.
Of course he
He
did.
brought 2 Cokes and.
In bottles?
Nope. I actually tried to do that for him. And I went to Giant Eagle to pick up the cake and they didn't have the Mexican Cokes. And I was like, fuck it, I'm not buying the regular ones. Anyway, he showed up with 2 cans of Coke.
Why is this significant?
I mean, he's a big Coke drinker.
Yeah. our
And
buddy
he only
Andrew.
fucks with the Mexican Cokes with the pure cane sugar.
It's just a thing about Andrew.
Yeah.
It's
Coke
just
snob.
funny.
Yeah, because, I mean, I am too. Don't get me wrong.
I
Like,
guess you could call him a cokehead.
you could call him a cokehead. Yeah. he does the Coke. He does the Mexican Coke regularly. Anyway, so he shows up with 2 cans of Coke. He drinks one, and I hear his girl go, "Hey man, if you want to save that other Coke, you should probably hide it, because all of Hayden's neighborhood friends showed up. He put out the fucking bat signal. He literally he got on his bike and rode to everyone's house. He asked
his own Paul Revere style.
He goes, yeah. He goes,
the Mexican Cokes are coming. The Mexican Cokes are coming.
He goes, can I invite some of my friends? I go, yeah, sure, man. You know what he did? He rode to everyone's house and he goes, we're about to have chipotle, soda, and cupcakes. And literally everyone came over. Motherfuckers I've never seen or met or heard of before.
It's like he's got an air raid. It's like,
no. So we met all these neighborhood kids that, like, some I've never heard of before. This kid rings the doorbell, and I live in like a super diverse, multicultural neighborhood. The kid rings the doorbell. I recognize the front kid. He's like, hey. He's one of the twins in the neighborhood. The kid behind him goes,
hello, Miss Lady.
The kid behind him goes, hi, I'm Radish. I go, hi, Radish. He goes, there's a birthday party here, right? I said, there is. I just opened the door and let him in. So
it didn't even
it's
say,
like a clown car.
It didn't even say
of
Hayden's birthday party. He just said there's a birthday party.
It wasn't Hayden's. It was his
that's right.
2-year-old sisters.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
So all these kids come in, and like Andrew, being typical Andrew, we're doing the cupcakes, right? Everybody's outside. Now the fucking flame on the candle won't stay lit. We all pile inside to do the happy birthday thing. All the kids are in there, right? We get these cupcakes, half chocolate, half vanilla, green icing on top, yada, yada, the whole nine. Andrew goes, hey, man, just so you know, they said everyone can have 3. And tells these kids, dude, this little kid, he's 5. He's one of the younger kids. And I've never seen this kid in my life. He grabs a whole cupcake and goes, stuffs the whole fucking thing in his mouth. His hands are covered in green icing. I said, you want a napkin? He was like, yeah. He takes it, dabs his mouth in the corners, and sets the napkin on my table. I was like, you still have icing all over your hands. He takes it, wipes one swipe, sets that napkin down, gets another napkin, swipe here, sets that down. He's putting it icing down on the table. I was like, all right, Jeff, don't fucking freak out, because I would strangle my kid if this was my kid.
I feel like the heat inside me right now being like, oh.
And then the kid, he goes, without missing a blink, or without missing a beat, without blinking, without missing a beat, reaches up, gets his second cupcake. I was like, motherfucker. I was like, I gotta cut this kid off. And I said, hey man,
you've reached your cupcake limit.
I was like, let's go wash your hands. So I go to the bathroom. I turn on the water for him. He washes his hands. He comes back out, still has it all over his face. I hand him a new napkin. I go, wipe your mouth. Again, he just like touches the corners of his mouth. I said, dude, you got to apply some pressure. You have it. You have it all over your mouth. He takes it, and instead of like wiping, he presses really hard on this side, presses really hard on this side. And I was like, who the fuck taught this kid to wipe his face?
Quick, give me your dad's number so I can go kick his ass.
I was like, I am fucking floored. I went over to Hayden. I said, who's this kid? He tells me, I go, how old is he? He's 5. I go, is he in the squad? I was like, why is this kid here? I've never heard of this kid.
Because he's not anymore.
Yeah. He goes, oh, he's been hanging out a lot recently. I go, okay, cool. And finally I go, all right, all kids back outside, kicked everybody outside, and then had to clean up green icing from all the chairs and like off the floor. You know, typical kid shit. It was just funny. It was just a whole funny fucking exchange with these kids.
You ever got to deal, like, that's funny, because do you ever have to deal with like kids, like neighborhood kids being in your house? That like,
no. Well, Kyle's like, fuck that.
No. But like neighborhood kids within earshot. Okay, within earshot, where you hear him say something that's like not cool.
Yeah.
And you have to call it out, but you feel weird because you're not their parent. The other day, my kids had one of their friends over. And they're all laughing in the front room playing Fortnite or something like that. And I just hear them go, "Oh, that's gay."
Oh.
And it was like kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because the way he said it, like he was like a 35-year-old stand-up comedian. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, you know, one of those things like, hey guys. But I always just feel weird, like disciplining other people's kids.
I told you, Hayden gets okay. So there's a kid in the neighborhood that's like Hayden's best friend, and he hangs out with that kid. That kid gets phrases off YouTube, and I've said it before. Remember, I told you Hayden goes, "A 420 blazed it past that kid."
Yeah.
He had that one, and he also said, "Clap those cheeks."
Oh.
And I was like, "Dude, do you know what that means?" And I had to school him on that one. Well, the same kid, was playing a game. He was like playing on someone's phone on the bus the other day, and Hayden asked him. He goes, "Hey, what game are you playing?" And the kid goes, "Your mom's butthole." And like Hayden loves his mom, so it frustrated him. He was like, kind of like, "Fuck this kid," right? So he gets all like super introverted, and he's like pissed off, and he's visibly upset. And the kid asks him something like, "Did you take your medicine?" or something like that. And like all of a sudden Hayden's crying, and then some dickhead kid stands up on the bus and goes, "Hey everybody, look, this kid's crying." And so it became a thing, dude. There's been all kinds of shit going on in our neighborhood. Let me tell you about another fucking event that happened in our neighborhood. First of all, let me finish that one. Amy posted on the neighborhood Facebook and was like, "I'm trying not to lose my shit here. This is what fucking happened. Tell your kids to not be turds." And we found out that it was like Hayden's like fucking best friend. So when he came over, we did talk to him and like you understand how that could be, And Hayden was like, "Oh, don't talk to him." And we basically we gave him the whole thing like, "Look, if he's your fucking friend like you think he is, he will care that he hurt your feelings." And he totally did. And they're great friends again. Everything's fine. So it was a total misunderstanding. He just doesn't have that same thick skin that some people have. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the other event that happened, this one's fucking wild. So wake up one morning and there's a post on the community Facebook page and it says, "Hey everybody, just want to let you know something happened. Some lady came up to our house last night, was ringing the doorbell 5 or 6 times. My nephew and wife witnessed it. She peed on our steps into a bottle, wrapped up some mulch in a burger wrapper. There's a McDonald's yellow burger wrapper, peed in a bottle all over the steps, a little bit in the bottle, all over their sandals and shit that was on the porch, and then left a burger wrapper with mulch wrapped up on the step next to it, rang the doorbell 6 or 7 times, and then ran off."
Bath salts are a hell of a drug.
That's a new twist on ding dong and ditch.
There was ding dong like piss and dump and ditch. Like I don't even know what the fuck. And I made no connections. Amy goes off. She's like, "It's probably this," and I'm like the optimist. I'm like, what if it was somebody who was human trafficked into sex trafficking and they escaped the person and they were trying to leave some DNA to let them know that they're still alive. Like I go off this like super, super way over here. And then I was like, yeah, but more realistically, there's a bar over there and it was probably some drunk person that came from that bar. I was like,
it's a little, there's easier ways to leave DNA.
There is. I was just being facetious for the sake of proving the point, right? And then I was like, or maybe somebody was fucking hammered, got kicked out of the car by their significant other for being belligerent or some shit and ran to the first house, because our community is just plopped in the middle of nothing.
Yeah.
So it is weird that they came, 7 or 8 houses deep into the community and then did that and then left.
That is weird.
Super fucking weird. Shit like that ever happen in either of your communities?
No.
Does any fucking thing
I mean, I live in Delaware and not much like that happens because it's really far away from shit.
The other night, on our, this is not anything as wild as that, but on our Facebook page, people had been posting about this skunk in the neighborhood. And we'd smelled it because we then realized, oh, the people who are posting this are in like our 5-house, 6-house radius.
That's not weed.
And, that's some really bad weed.
Yeah.
And, we have 2 dogs and friends bring dogs over all the time. So there's always a lot of dogs in my yard. And it's like the last thing I need is fucking 5 dogs to get skunked at once. You know what I mean? Because they're all playing and going crazy. And, so we've been pretty vigilant about if we smell it, bring the dogs and all that. And the other night, maybe a week ago, I was taking the trash out and I'm like, got the trash bag in my hand and I didn't pull it closed. It was because it was pretty full and I was just holding it. getting ready to put it in the trash, and I just look down casually because I see something out of the corner of my eye. I'm no farther than you are from me. There's a skunk in the grass, and he looks up, and as soon as our eyes lock, his tail.
No.
And I went, fuck, and I just dropped the bag, and like trash just falls all because it's like overflowing and it's open, and it just falls all over the place, and I just run. I was like, last thing I need is to get fucking skunked.
Don't you have to like take a bath in tomato juice or something?
It's like the craziest. Like there's like a formula that you could make to get it out of your dog's fur and stuff.
I thought it had something to do with like tomato juice.
I think that's one of them. But there's also one
that might be
like,
some
involves,
like old Southern shit.
There's another one that involves like peroxide mixed with something. It's like a thing. It's like a mixture.
It's definitely not Axe body spray.
But yeah, dude,
it could be. It's pretty strong. I had a skunk growing up.
It like I felt like shook for like an hour. My dad had one.
Yeah.
But you just get their sprayers taken out, right?
But there's always a residual stank.
Yeah, we had an albino skunk. It was all white and had red eyes.
Is that what an albino is?
Well, I just wanted to be clear for everyone on the internet. I saw you hit the mic.
I was wiping the sweat off my face.
You hit the mic, and then I was afraid I was going to get hit by the other end of the thing.
Kyle also had a fucking monkey.
Yeah.
Kyle had a monkey.
We had a rhesus monkey as well.
You did?
Yeah.
It wore diapers.
So monkeys and babies don't work well together, so my parents had to make a choice: either keep me or the monkey.
And it was a tough choice.
It was a tough choice. So I feel like I won.
Dude, now that I think about it, your house, you know that scene in Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
Where he walks in and then he's like, Daddy's home. What
or
the
he
fuck
says,
is
he
he
says,
whistle?
Come to me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
My animal friends.
Yeah, and the fucking that was Kyle's house. Did I say this before? Where Kyle had this fucking creepy bird that could talk. Louie?
Yeah, so I had two. So Louie was not actually our bird. Louie was a bird that we babysat.
You birdie sat?
We bird sat this bird.
This motherfucker would whisper. He would go, "What you doing?" It'd be dark as fuck in Kyle's house, and he'd go, "What you doing?" I'm like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah,
what the fuck is going on in your house, Kyle?
It was a cockatoo. That bird did not like me at all.
Nah.
That bird would if it was out of its cage, it would attack me. Because I had another bird that bird was a cockatoo. I had an Amazon parrot that was mine, that I showed more affection to that when this other bird came over. So Louie, the cockatoo, was jealous. And so when my other bird passed away and Louie would come over by itself, it would still have resentment towards me and would literally attack me. That's
crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah. This bird.
I have to switch subjects.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you before we started this podcast, hey man, any really good stories from like our childhood? And we couldn't really think of any. Kyle, I thought of the best story.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the AOL internet days where like people sent pictures.
White Trash Gang?
Yeah, we
White Trash Gang?
Yeah, we had a whole crew.
WYT?
WYTTRASH, and then we had different numbers at the end. So like Kyle was like, were you like White Trash 14? 10? Andrew was White Trash 14.
Mm-hmm.
I was White Trash 13.
And
Joe was White Trash 3.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little gang. And your wife would know this because we talked to her on the internet back then. I mean, like that was the internet days.
I'm about to
ask her about White Trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we're like fucking going around on Kyle's computer, and we stumble upon.
This was not where I thought this was going, by the way.
Do you know where I'm going now?
Yes, I do now.
Oh yeah. So we're like, we find this folder, and like I said, people had scanners, right? And you would take photos, and like we didn't have digital cameras. You would scan a photo,
oh, God.
and then you would send it to people, and it would
I hope this is going where I think it's going.
Dog. Kyle, where am I going with the scanner? What did we find in the photos?
So, we found an image of a pierced nipple.
Yeah, it was.
That belonged to my mother.
Yeah, it did.
Oh! That's not where I thought this was. I thought we were going to scan dick pics, like smushed ass dick on the thing.
No, we found.
Oh my God.
She didn't even take a picture of the titty. Like she pressed the titty on the scanner.
Yep.
And scanned the titty.
Yep.
I said, Kyle, what's up with it? I was like, who's Pierce Titty? Kyle deleted the photo. He's like, fuck that shit. She ain't sending that shit out no more.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So my father left when I was 12, and then my mom started like searching on the internet for suitors, is the best way I can put it. And
Suitors.
she met a guy in North Carolina who she eventually married.
Yeah, good
By the
dude.
way, he was a sheriff in North Carolina. Great dude. But their correspondence included some erotic photos, and one of those erotic photos that we happened to find while perusing the computer was her
Pressed up
pressed on the scanner was her tit
Full press titty.
with it pierced, and I was like, yeah, because that was definitely a surprise, because they were just clicking through images, and next thing you or Joe were the ones that found it and go, Kyle, what is this? And I'm like, oh shit.
Kyle got on that delete key though.
Yeah.
That empty recycle bin.
My mom was not the most computer savvy. They were not in they were in a folder right off the desktop. So
There was no hidden, no nothing. They was just right there. Speaking of not being computer savvy, my mom called me the other day and goes, my internet's not working. So I did the IT thing. I walked her through. First of all, I couldn't get her to power cycle anything. Like, she couldn't find the power buttons to any of the things. And I was like, all right, check this out. They're all plugged in a surge protector, right? Turn that bitch off and on. She couldn't find the power button on the surge protector. I was like,
you know, a thing that goes like this?
yeah, the rocker switch. So I go, well, fuck, how else can I, how can I possibly describe this? And I go, okay, this is my old room. There's only 2 outlets.
Mhm.
I said, walk over to the outlet that's below the light, pull the fucking cord out the wall. Okay, go ahead and plug that cord back in. And I was like, fuck, now I got to show her to find the buttons, because now she has to turn the shit back on. So then I still had to walk her through. She turns everything on. She's like, yeah, I got the computer. It still says no connection. I'm like, fuck. All right, well, I'll come down this weekend. I go down. There was one piece of hardware that didn't turn back on. It was the wireless router. So fuck, man.
I have a story like that. So my aunt
Hell yes.
is really bad with computers, and I always try to set her up and help her out with all of that. So she calls me one time. She goes, the computer won't take CDs. I'm like, what do you mean it won't take CDs? It's designed specifically to accept CDs. She's like, every time I put a CD in the computer, it spits it out. I'm like, do you mean it just like ejects automatically? She's like, it literally shoots out. I'm like, is it possessed? What's going on with this tower? I have no idea. I'm trying to troubleshoot. She's like, I don't know. I just can't get it to work. I'm like, okay, I'll come over this weekend. So I go over to her house, go to her computer room. I go, all right, so you're saying it's still doing the thing where it's spitting out the CDs at her. She's like, yeah, okay, all right, fine. I go and I look at it, and I'm like trying to troubleshoot, and I go, okay. I hit the CD-ROM drive, and it's not at the top of the tower like normal. I'm like, this is odd. It's at the bottom of the tower. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm looking at it. The stickers are upside down. I'm like, wait a minute. I open the CD thing, and I go, the tower's upside down. Oh my God.
The whole
tower is upside down. And I go, Aunt Sandy, can you come here for a sec? It's like, what? I'm like, do you notice anything funny about the tower? About any of the words or anything on it? She's like, no. I was like, does that not look upside down to you? Do you know Windows is spelled the other? That's not how Windows is supposed to say.
Do you have it?
With
She's like, oh. I was like, yeah. Your CD-ROM is upside down. That's why I kept spinning out. She's
you're just setting it on the bottom of the tray. Like, it's not going in the computer.
It would literally, because when it would try to close, it would literally just pinch and shoot out. I was like,
that's hilarious.
yeah. I was like, yeah, that's what was wrong. She's like, you will not tell anyone of this. I'm like, oh, I'm telling everyone.
Telling the internet
I'm
now.
telling the internet now. It's on the web.
First of all, he told me.
Oh yeah, I told him like I called him as that was happening. Like I literally called him on the phone. And I said, yo, dude, check this out. Let him know.
I gotta tell you about this shit that just happened.
Because he and I are both the people that go and fix our family members' computers. And by fix, it's like, you know,
Turn it on and off.
Uninstall the malicious software that they downloaded that they say they didn't download. Because that's what my aunt does. Constantly downloads things. And when I go fix her computer, it's basically uninstalling malicious software. She goes, I didn't download any of that. I'm like, clearly you did 3 weeks ago because I see the install date.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't do that. I was like, does anyone else touch this computer? She's like, no. Then yes, you did.
Yeah. This shit didn't download itself.
Like, you did this.
When I first started working for this help desk, I remember like several companies were going through a merger, right? And then I get this job to help with this help desk and to ease the merger and yada yada. And there was one company that was used to having a tech sent out for literally everything. You could call and be like, my computer's not working, send a tech. And they would send a tech. You got another company that did everything remote. Well, when the companies merged, they adopted all the tech policies from the latter, right? So everything was remote. You walked people through troubleshooting. But doing that for people who were used to having a tech for everything was fucking crazy. And they would say shit like, my computer's not working. And then you just want to like figure out like, is there a light on the monitor? No. What about is the computer on? You talking about the server? Nope.
The server.
They always called it the server. And there was this one particular person. And when people would call in, you document your calls and you can see their past calls. One particular person, I remember I get him and he's like, I ain't no tech. I ain't getting on the computer. I ain't getting on the ground. What? I got a detached retina. I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, I have a detached retina. I can't be crawling around on the ground. And I was like, this motherfucker just told me I had a detached retina. And so like I go to like my team lead and I'm like, hey, this guy is saying he got a detached retina. I'm like, what do I do? Like, is there something I do? Do I send him a new computer? Like, what the fuck do I do? Like, they were like, what's his ID? We give him his ID. We look at his past calls. Crazy shit every call. Crazy fucking excuses every call. I have a broken leg. I can't get under there. I have a broken arm. I can't be crawling on the ground. I'm like,
detached retina.
Dude, motherfucker told me detached retina. So that became like the legendary thing, right? When this dude called in, every time he said the wildest shit. That's just how people
weird.
are, man, when they don't want to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fucking segue to trivial things that bother us.
It's cool, man. I'm dying of heat exhaustion.
I am too. I'm ready to get out this bitch. These White Claws were crispy, but, you know, I could use some fucking water and maybe some air.
Last week, it was like freezing.
Dog, I said today it was like 52 or 54.
But when we were recording this last week,
it was
remember, the air
really
conditioning was
fucking
on,
cold.
and it was freezing.
Yeah.
Like as the podcast went on, we're like,
like, damn,
really?
dude, my
'Cause
nipples are about to fucking bust out.
That was the one you were really trying to get me on, and I was like, I can't. My tooth. I couldn't.
That's right.
And then I thought it was kind of warm in here when I left.
Dude, my kid had it was supposed to have a root canal yesterday. And I took him and they were able to get all the cavity out without a root canal. But they had his shit all numbed up and they gave him nitrous. So he came out, you could just see him like wiggling his mouth, like fucking with everything back
Dude,
there.
It's so trippy.
Have you had nitrous?
Not nitrous, but like when I had my root canal done a couple weeks ago and they numbed my whole front area of my mouth.
Yeah.
It was like, it was so weird.
Well, they go, yeah, he should probably not try and eat anything solid right now because his whole shit's numb. Kids have been known to bite through their cheek. Yep. I'm like, what? I'm like, what can he have? Anything soft. Ice cream, smoothies. I'm like, all the shit that gave him the cavity that y'all just drilled out of his goddamn mouth? You want me to give him that shit?
Sugar free.
He goes, you look at me, he goes, yes. I was like, fuck, man. So we went to Panera and picked him up a big ass smoothie. And then we go home. We get there and he goes, can I also have my normal sandwich? I'm like, no, they just said to not eat any crispy shit because you can bite through your cheek. I already see you fucking with it like a Coke addict. I'm not getting you that. And then he like fucks up the smoothie and then we get home and he's like, can I go out and play? I'm like, yeah, dude, just don't wreck on your bike and knock your fucking teeth out or any wild shit because the doctor wasn't in network.
Quick story before we get into trivial things, just because it made me think of. I got my wisdom teeth out 12 years ago, maybe, and I had this idea. Like I wanted them to save the teeth.
Okay.
Because I had an idea for a record cover that was just like a hand holding bloody teeth, like
nice.
for a hardcore band. I thought that'd be cool. And so like I had this idea. So I make sure they save it. I wake up after getting my wisdom teeth out in the recovery room or whatever from the nitrous or the sleeping gas and
laughing gas.
but I was asleep too. I was like totally under for this,
Mm.
and I don't really remember this, but Sierra was like, she said that I asked if like where the teeth were, and she's like, oh, I don't know. They get rid of them, and I guess in the recovery room, I was literally like, fuck. Shit, because I was like out of my mind. I had no idea how loud I was being.
Yeah.
And she's like laughing, trying to get me to be quiet. Oh man, that's all the story is. But that was
So trivial things that bother me. I'm gonna go.
Moving on.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking
Slide
because
right in.
I could go on for that
Yeah,
another
yeah.
fucking 10 minutes. Mine is a fucking another driving one.
Mine is too.
So lanes merge, right?
Mhm.
And you got signs for, I don't know, a mile that say
Left lane ends.
left lane closed ahead. So we get up there. They've reached the end. And then they think they can just get over. Nope. I got in the fucking berm and rode around them and they beeped at me. I'm like, hold the fuck on. You were right next to me. I have no obligation to let you over. You are the merger. Merging is stop if traffic. You have to yield and you have to stop if traffic is affected. You were affecting my flow. I went around your bitch ass.
I'm legitimately that guy who goes all the way to the end.
I think you should use all of it, right? But you got to be more seamless.
Oh, sure.
These motherfuckers were like, they were right behind me, sped up on the side of me type shit. Nah, I ain't letting you over. I'm petty as fuck when it comes to that. Like, I got over early and I just watched everyone just fucking blow by me and just keep going up on the left. And in my mind, I went, damn, I could have just waited, stayed in the left and got way fucking up. I'd be another 10 cars up there. But no, I just got over because I saw the signs, got over. And this guy who was literally, I'm not joking, 200 feet. All he had to do was like merge behind me, but he sped up and just had to get one more car.
Yeah.
Nah, not happening.
I'm that guy. Sorry.
Not fucking, you could not be that guy with me. I will push my little fucking Hyundai all the way up on the bumper of something else. And my car's a piece of shit. I don't care about hitting yours. I'm completely fine. Merge into me, bro. I don't give a fuck. Take your big Trump 2020 truck with the stupid LED bar on the front. Take that and merge right the fuck into me. I don't care. I will sue you for your LED bar. And I will mount it to the side of my car. I don't give a fuck. I'm petty. Petty wop.
Good. Petty in the same way. I hate when people drive 5 miles per hour in my parking garage at work. Because I know that garage. I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly where my spots are that I'm going to. And I'm just like, yank, 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 yank. This morning I'm going up the fucking ramp to my floor, and it's somebody was literally driving like 5 miles per hour up this ramp.
Is there a speed limit in there?
I'm sure they say like 10 miles per hour or something like that. I don't know.
In general, I don't like people that go under the speed limit.
Well, that too.
I always set my cruise for the speed limit, unless I'm going somewhere far on the speed, like on a long road trip. Then I always stay like 5 above or something like that. But
I usually set mine about 10 above.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, when we would do a lot of our road trips, I would always be the one driving.
Kyle was a driver.
And I would set it to 5 over and then go. Like whenever we would go to a tattoo convention, I would be the one driving every single time.
Fuck yeah.
When we went to Florida, I drove to Florida and then I drove all the way back.
Fuck yeah, you did.
We saw that car flip over in Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen some shit. So do you have a trivial thing that bothers you?
I do, but it's not car or traffic related. It's related.
Okay.
It's related to. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, I play a lot of video games and I spend a lot of time on the phone at work. The thing that bothers me the most about being on the phone or playing video games is that I have to hear other people talk on a headset.
Damn.
And
He's like, look, I don't want to hear people talk.
no, it's
I don't
not
know
the,
how
it's
to say
not the
this
talking
nicely.
that I don't mind or that I don't have a problem with the talking. It's the breathing into the microphone.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And do you do this at work? I'm sorry. If you're not talking, could you please go on mute?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
The
like,
passive aggressive,
it
like
is the biggest annoyance of mine. So at work, the second if I'm not the one running the call, obviously I don't feel I have the right a lot of the time to say that. So I throw the headset off. I'm muted already, so I just throw the headset off and I stop listening.
You know what I do at work? I give them when I'm running the call. I say, hey, if
I'm running the call, I tell them.
I say if you're not talking, please go on mute. And if they don't do it again, I go into that see me thing and boot them bitches.
Yep.
I kick them off.
No one else knows. Not a lot of people know about that tool, which I had to show a lot of people. But
fuck
you guys
that.
are heartless.
Savage.
So when
Ruthless.
So when I do a lot of video games on the Discord server, I'm an admin to some servers, and I have the same functionality to where I can see who's talking, and I'm like, mute your mic. And they don't. I just kick them off the server. So
Hell yeah.
I do that type of stuff. That is one of my biggest pet peeves is like hearing people breathe into the microphone. I cannot deal with that. There you go.
Man, I even had a game of Ohio or Florida. We're not going to do it. We're going to save it for next time. There's a bomb-ass headline. There was a bomb-ass headline.
Want to give a teaser and then answer it next episode?
Nah, you know what? We'll do just this one. I'll get just this one. Woman is sat on by a camel, bites testicles to free herself.
Like,
yeah,
so
dog.
She bites the camel's testicles, huh?
He got sat on. She basically what happened was her dog went in there and she went in after her dog. The camel was like, finna sit down, bitch. Sat on her and she goes, this sucks. I'm gonna bite your testicles, and bit the camel's testicles.
I have a guess.
Ohio or Florida? Go ahead.
I say Florida.
I'm going to say Ohio.
Florida.
I feel like that was a toss-up because it
was.
I could have gone either way.
I mean, it's a fucking camel. It's not like they're indigenous to either. You know what I'm saying?
Because I was thinking like the wilds or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking more of like that seems like a tourist location.
Yeah.
And more likely tourist locations exist in Florida than in Ohio.
But
Yeah,
usually
that's-
when there's like a extra weird element to it, that's Florida.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
biting testicles.
When you bite the testicles, that elevates the weirdness just a little bit. I mean, I have a
Just a little bit.
Just a
that,
little.
That shows what motherfuckers will do to get out of a shitty situation, though. Bite some testicles.
Crawl.
I feel like that's not the first testicle she bit. You know what I'm saying? All right, with that, we're going to wrap this bitch up. Episode 24.
Time to go bite this week's testicles.
Is that the new thing?
No.
Well, people say like, I'm going to suck, let's get up and suck today's dick.
Yeah. that's
People
weird.
say that.
Never said that one.
For now, it's going to be, let's get up and bite these testicles.
Bite these testes.
I'm about to bite these testicles and roll.
Testes.
Episode 24.
24.
Peace.